Now, the royal family, as we just said, have released their accounts this morning, revealing that they cost us £102.4 million last year. Our royal editor, Russell Myers, has been looking at all the figures. So, Russell, what have you found out for us?
Well, morning, Lorraine. Well, if the excitement of the Platinum Jubilee wasn't enough, I have been delving into the facts and figures of the sovereign grants, and it comes across once a year, and it's all about how much the royals have cost us. And it's a big talking point because, you know, we've come off the back of the Platinum Jubilee. Everybody was loving the Queen and the royal family. However, these costs have gone over £100 million for the first time ever. And there's some little details that I think some people will find interesting, like the royal train has cost us £100,000, even though it's just left the station 3 times this year. There were some issues about the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's very controversial tour of the Caribbean cost nearly £250,000, can you believe? So there's some real details in here that I think people will be very interested in. A lot of conversation about Prince Charles and his scandal about receiving bags of cash. I mean, this has been rumbling on for a couple of weeks now. The Sunday Times revealed just a couple of weeks ago that the Prince of Wales had been accepting €3 million in a suitcase and carrier bags from the Prime Minister of Qatar just a few years ago. So somebody at the palace has had to say, you know, Prince Charles will no longer be accepting bags of cash, which is quite an extraordinary turn of events and something that you wouldn't hear every day. But it's quite an interesting debate, and I don't know where people stand on it. Maybe £1.29 is or thereabouts is worth it.
It's interesting, isn't it? When you break it down like that, £1.29, you know, people would say worth the money. But, you know, it's entirely down to you. We don't get a choice in it. That's the thing. We don't get a choice in it.
We don't.
Now, we're told Meghan and Harry paid for their own flights to come over here during the Jubilee, and that's fantastic, as they should. You know, they're making their own money. They should be doing that anyway. Also, though, on the front page of the Daily Mail, they're not letting go of this, are they? It's all about the bullying, the so-called bullying inquiry, and they're saying that we'll never know the outcome of that.
Well, indeed, and it's been labelled a whitewash. I mean, just a year ago that the Times had broken this story about there were several staff at the palace that Meghan had been accused of humiliating, bullying in the workplace. Staff had left their roles in tears and been, you know, shell-shocked by that experience. Now, the palace said at the time that they would employ an external legal company to actually do a root and branch investigation of those claims and sort of work out what practices needed to be improved. Now, they said that has happened. They have improved their practices, but we will never know the results of that inquiry. And a lot of people are saying, you know, myself included, are saying, well, you know, that's frankly not on. There's a big public corporation like the royal family that takes public money. We should know if there was big serious allegations about a senior member of the firm bullying people in the workplace, and yet we won't ever know. But a bit of a whitewash, I think, this morning.
Meghan, though, much happier news for Meghan, and this again I think is where she really comes into her own. She's been talking to Vogue magazine. She's also, though, her and Prince Harry as well, speaking about the abortion bans in many parts of the United States. And this is where she really, I think, does, like I said, come into her own, and it raises that whole speculation of whether or not she's going to go into politics.
Well, absolutely. And that's been said for quite a while now because, you know, Prince Harry and Meghan have moved over to the United States. They've got their financial freedom. They've got their essential freedom from the royal family. So they can speak on political issues. And certainly Meghan was speaking to Vogue at the weekend, talking about Roe versus Wade, the very, very controversial abortion law that has been repealed in the US. Now, Meghan has said, you know, we might be in Washington very soon. So does she have political ambitions? I do think she does. And she's certainly rubbing shoulders with the right people and making the right noises. So, you know, sometimes it might not seem so ludicrous that she might stand for office because she's certainly making the right noises.
I don't think it's ludicrous at all. I think she's got, you know, she's got things to say and she's got an astonishing platform and she could make a real difference. Now, we know, of course, that Ghislaine Maxwell has been sentenced to 20 years in prison. People are speculating about the implications for Prince Andrew, who, of course, has always denied any wrongdoing whatsoever. But what do we think, Russell?
Well, certainly, Prince Andrew might be sweating because there are certain lawyers who are saying that the associates of Ghislaine Maxwell could be the next targets in line for FBI investigations. So will that happen now? She's facing 20 years in jail. So I do think that, Prince Andrew will need to be sort of, get hitting his ducks in a row because he still hasn't spoken to the FBI or US authorities that he said he would be doing. And, I think this saga will be rumbling on, which will be very nervous for the royal family and Prince Andrew altogether.
Absolutely, incredibly serious. The royals have been paying tribute, haven't they, to our Dame Deborah?
They have indeed, and Prince William. We spoke yesterday. He took this, really beautiful tribute to her by visiting her and presenting Dame Deborah with her damehood. And they released a statement yesterday saying, "We are so sad to hear the heartbreaking news about Dame Deborah. Our thoughts are with her children, her family, and her loved ones. Deborah was an inspirational and unfalteringly brave woman whose legacy will live on." And I think that's something we can all agree with.
Absolutely, it's beautiful, beautiful tribute from both of them, and I know that'll mean a lot to Deborah's family and her friends. Don't forget, you can watch full episodes of Lorraine on the ITV Hub and all the best clips, compilations and playlists right here on our channel. Just subscribe now and you'll never miss an upload. Click here to watch another video similar to this one, or click here to head to our channel's homepage to explore all of our exciting videos.